Appreciate everybody who's tuned in right now, whether you be on my IG or whether you be on my YouTube right now. Your first time, chiming in, make sure you press that subscribe button and like buttons if you're on YouTube. And if you're on IG, go ahead and follow me. You feel me? And today we're going to have an interesting subject matter. We still talking about that EMF and PMF frequencies. And I pretty much want to share these things with y'all right now to try to inform y'all more before we start going into other subject matters. Okay, before I even get started, I always got to give my disclaimers, which is I'm not here to treat, diagnose, or cure. Everything that I'm sharing with y'all today is for edutainment purposes only. Please consult with your medical provider or specialist for any type of elements that you may have. Now, I call myself Doctah Copeland. That's DoctahCopeland. If you need to catch me on IG. And like I said, even if you want to catch me on YouTube, you can find the HWHC Doctah Copeland Health Consultant. It may pop up. I don't know. But anyway, let's get to the subject matter for the day. Today, I wanted to still talk about electromagneticness. Remember, we talked about we are bubble, and how this is important about how we let things in our bubble, how much overexposure, whether it be like we had said, like TVs, radios, smart cars, smartphones, smart houses, whether it be colors in our homes, whether it be an old home, new home, whether it be old furniture. We talked about smells, fragrances, environments that you may be hanging around, associations, and how that may affect you. Matter of fact, I was talking to a queen earlier, and they was telling me how they used to be bisexual, and then they found, they looked within inside themselves and found out that, they wasn't raised that way. Either you're gonna be strictly, with man or strictly with women if you're a man, right? So they was talking about how, by them being around a certain environment, constantly to be part of the crowd, why not try it? Why not do it? And stuff like that. I thought that was very interesting conversation, because you may even have people who may have strategies with these things, and they feel guilty about it, and sometimes they may be in a state of mind of keep reoccurring that tragedy in their mind with psychological issues and stuff like that. So it's really part of it should mainly in their mind anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's dealing with their electrical magnetic frequency. You know what I'm saying? How it electrified you. You know what I mean? You ended up somehow being magneted to it. You know what I mean? And you was on this certain frequency. You see, maybe be a high frequency or a low frequency, right? So that's what we still kind of talking about today. But today I want to talk about, I think we looked at the previous, if you watched the previous episode, if you haven't watched them, should have them in the description boxes. If you watch this on YouTube and stuff of that nature, a previous episode dealing with the EMF and PMF frequencies. I think we was talking about the colors. And we talked about I think the last episode, we seen an old interview I did when I had my TV show back in the day, maybe 2008, 9, somewhere up in there. That it was talking to the photo lady, okay? And she was breaking down colors for us and the 3 basic colors and how we can mix these 3 basic colors to get what's called the color wheel. Okay, so this is very interesting. You know what I mean? So we're gonna kind of look at that now because one of the last episodes that I spoke on was about the electromagnetic spectrum, or what they call the wavelength. Remember we was talking about the waves and stuff of that nature. So now these wavelengths have a certain way instead of hertz, right? It's called nanometers. Okay, the way it vibrates out in a sense, we'll say the way it it hits us in a sense, we'll say, so they have what's called a measurement for that, and it's in what's called nanometers, okay, or waves, okay. And so we're gonna kind of speak on that, and we're gonna speak on once again on the colors of it, because each ray, whether it be the radio waves, whether it be the microwaves, whether it be the infrared rays, whether it be the visible light rays, whether it be the ultraviolet rays, or whether it be X-rays or gamma rays. Okay, all of these gives off also a spectrum of light and also a wave, or like I said, a nanometer or frequency. Okay, of power, we'll say. Okay, so we're gonna kind of look into that a little bit and kind of go back into where we was talking about when we was talking about the overexposure of these things, because you have some good energy, some good frequencies, and we have a bad frequency. When we talked about that in several episodes ago about the different hertz. Okay, so you have certain hertz that's healing, that's soothing, that's relaxing. Certain is exciting, some that can deteriorate your tissues, and so it depends on which kind of vibe is coming from. So come to find out that it's called geopathic stresses. Okay, geopathic stresses. We're gonna get into that in a minute, and we're gonna also talk about, like I said, the electromagnetic wave and the nanometer frequencies, and its different colors and stuff of that nature. So one thing we're going to recap for a minute, because you started off with radio waves. Remember we talked about radio waves, and with radio waves we also talking about the AM FM radio that we banged in our cars. Okay, I don't watch a lot of TV. I listen to my radio. That's cool, man. You know what I mean? I listen to a lot of music too, man. At one time, not that much. I may get back into it. Well, we'll talk about that another time. But anyway, as I was saying, we got the radio frequency, AM and FM. Okay, they even got something called radio surgery. Okay, you may want to check that out, family. If you haven't heard of it, go. I ain't gonna get into it right now because I'm gonna try to make this video as short as I possibly can. Don't want to hold your ears up hostage too long, right? So what we have here, you have it can also destroy the cells. Okay, with this, I'm gonna y'all check out the radio surgery. Okay, now we also have. Remember we talked about the microwave wave. Okay, and they got what's dealing with our cell phones, electrical powers. You go outside of your homes and you have the light poles and the wires running from that. And then some people on the you may live near the little gray box thing, the big one, you know what I mean? That's the one that's really, kicking out some juice, okay, in your community, And so if you live near them, you know what I'm saying, I do suggest that we find ways to lessen the overexposure of these frequencies that we're going to talk about here today. And we talked about and that's also called, between radio and microwaves, right? To add on, it's called ELF, or extra low frequencies. Okay, even them at low vibrations can, like I said, affect our cells. And we're going to get into that a little bit more in a minute. We got infrared, lighting spectrum that we talked about. We had the visible light. Now, within visible light, also we got light bulbs. Remember we talked about the tempo, the nidra, right? And so we got the light bulbs. Even this light shining in my face right now. The difference for me right now, I have what's called full spectrum lights that I'm using. Okay. Now, most people using fluorescent lights and different mercury lights, and it's about the frequency band or the color band, so to speak, that we're going to be talking about in this particular segment here. If y'all just stay with me, y'all, and its effects on our human body, okay? Because we got to understand these things, because even though we may eat a certain way, even though we may just drink strictly juices and different things, we still must understand as we do, especially with those who not doing constant cleansings. Let's say that. And so the average person who may be overexposed, maybe through unprocessed foods, which have a low what we call estrogen frequency, we will get into later. So they got different names for the same thing that I'm talking about, the electromagneticness of it, and how it gives a frequency, or the pulse electromagnetic frequency that it gives us inside of our body, make us, move. You know what I mean? So we go into also the X-ray. When we talk about X-ray, then it could actually cook healthy cells, they say. Okay. Oh, going back to the visible light for a second. Like I was saying, you need to, if you can, it's a little expensive. Okay, get you some full spectrum light bulbs. Okay, I know they're a little expensive. They may be like $4 a light bulb. Okay, depends on how much you burn lights and how you abuse lights. You know what I mean? Versus, now you might can find them. Maybe they're $3 or $4. Maybe the cheapest. You know what I mean? But definitely get you what's called a full spectrum light bulbs. Okay, man, they do a little research on that. Okay, but we got the ultraviolet rays. Remember that that's called solar waves. Okay, there's something gonna affect us. Now, part of the solar waves, remember we was talking about last time I had TVs, and we was talking about TV. We looking at these big HD, 4 HD, high definition platform here. Right, that's on what we said, a plasma TV, and we said what's in our bloodstream, or what's running through our body right now, through our veins. Okay, blood, plasma, and then we was talking about how the sun itself gives off a flare, shoots out plasma, and so this plasma is also what's called cosmic ray energies as well. Okay, which got I think oxygen and little carbons and different things, different hydrogen. Definitely got hydrogen in it. I'm sorry, definitely got hydrogen in it. You know what I'm saying? But as it shoots through the space, they call it. It's really no space. Okay, we'll talk about that another time. But everything, because it's just something is there. You know what I mean? You just can't see it, feel it, whatever the case may be, but something is there in what they call space. Okay, so anyway, like I was saying with the buildings, you know what I'm saying, versus living in the city versus living in the country, versus if I was in the country, I can see the full luminance, versus I'm in the city, I got the lights, the fluorescent lights, the different street lights and different things that's blocking the true luminance of the earth, or the magnetic fields that we share, so to speak. Okay, they call it under Vivexis, Vivaxis, Vivexis. I think that's how you say it, Vivaxis or something like that. Okay, so that's that earth and human connection. Okay, that we have, you know what I'm saying? So that helps our body functions. It helps us, like I said, utilize anything that we do eat, supplements that we do take, herbs that we take, teas that we drink. You know what I'm saying? Making sure these things are definitely running through our body properly. Doing through the PMF, okay, practices, okay. Let's move forward. We got the X-ray, like I was saying, which was saying a minute ago, to cook your healthy cells. Remember, we also said in previous episode how we have a lot of mothers, and everybody want to see the baby, right now and stuff like that. Not realizing that we're putting radiation into the baby before it even came out. You see that, and disturbing its cells. Giving it that the frequency that it was given before it was even, while it was just still. So when it come out, you might have given that baby really some type of detox to you. You know what I mean? we'll talk about them things in a later episode. First, we got to understand that make sure we're not overexposed, even though we starting to work on ourselves to whether it be bad relationships. Remember, that's an environment. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about negative, we might call it negativity, okay, which is certain ions. It affects certain cells and metabolic processes. Okay, so let's look at these things. We got the gamma, and the gamma is used during cancer, what they call chemotherapy or something of that nature. My opinion is they say, and from what I've seen, what I mean, it's best not even try to go, get you a bunch of gamma rays shot on a particular area to call yourself curing, because it's going to kill the healthy cells, the bad ones, everything around it. You know what I mean? And you may feel better for, a while. You know what I'm saying? But the level of radiation, the deterioration, especially if you don't change your habits, if you don't go to the source of what caused you to have a collaboration or what they end up calling tumors or cancer cells, you know what I mean, from backed up waste, may even been parasite material, you know what I mean, a lot of acid forming type of stuff in that area. Okay, they might could have been alkalized out or some kind of way dissolved out, is what I'm saying. Okay, there's been thousands, if not millions, of cases for many, many years saying that it could happen just through natural means. And they saying the uprise only been within the last, 50 years, you know what I'm saying, or so, coming from the industrial age, going into now the AI age, or the artificial intelligence. Okay, remember we talking about this because we looking at things that's going to, we looking at people now that's like artificial intelligence, fake hair, fake nails, we got fake tits, we got fake butts, even people got fake penises, fake vaginas. I mean, this everything is artificial now, fam. It's a lot of that going on. It's like they're trying to increase it like it's cool. You know what I mean? Because as soon as y'all gonna feel it's cool. Because AI, you know what I'm saying, is taking over in a sense, in so many ways. It's not just a machine. It's man versus the machine. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people lost their jobs, during the, pandemic. You feel what I'm saying? And during that pandemic time, a lot of them factories and stuff like that, they replaced out with robots or artificial intelligence, man. And so that goes back to what I was saying in another episode. What we're going to do when things are not free no more? How are we going to take care of our people around us and your neighbors, your family members, whatever the case may be? Let's hope that you know your neighbors. You at least, a 1 mile radius of your peoples that you know. Let's hope. I don't know, because a lot of people don't even say hi no more to their neighbors, you see. Everybody gretting. Everybody's so acid till they or in a dark space, low energy, no real light hitting them, got the shades shut, TV, all that extra plasma hitting them, all these extra electromagnetic fields distorting them. You have a lot of that going on right now, fam. We are doing what's called unnatural things. They say put the hands to the plow and multiply. That means go outside. The plow means plow, get into some dirt, fam. I ain't talking about the dirt that puts you in prison or jail. I'm talking about the dirt that gets between your fingernails, fam. I'm talking about that type of dirt, okay? Because that's part of the pulse electromagnetic fields that a lot of us need, as well as the electromagnetic fields we're going to go into in a second. Let me see. I got some other notes here. They all represent a color, like I was saying. That's the radio waves, the microwaves, the infrared waves, the visible rays, the ultraviolet, the X-rays, and the gamma rays. So they also all of them represent a color or the wave, which we call the nanometers, which we call all the colors that we talked about hertz, right? And so some of these studies they saying they're dealing with geopathical stress. Okay, is harmful effects of an artificial radiation from physical and subliminal fields. And we say subconscious. You got a subconscious something. It ain't really conscious. You know what I'm saying? You also have what's called subtle energies, stuff that you really can't feel that's there, but it's there in some form of a way. They say. Okay, so because everything they saying gives off a vibration. Okay, so the colors. Remember we talking about the colors? That's a vibration wave, right? Remember we talked about that, right? So let's go into some of the geographical stresses, possible effects to the human body. You have body pains, you have chronic fatigue, you have insomnia, you have irritability, we have infertility, we have miscarriages, behavior problems, autoimmune illnesses. Part of that is like MS, Parkinson, lupus, stuff like that. There's part of also autoimmunes, cancer, cardiovascular disorders as well. All these things could happen to us due to the overexposure of these geological stresses. Okay, you got some other waves that I'll probably go into it another time, like the solar waves. What was it? Let me see, solar waves. Shoot, I was just looking at it earlier. Can't think of it right now. But anyway, let's go into learn a little about the nanometers or the waves, frequencies, and its colors, or its I guess we'll say measurements. Yeah, it's a good way to say it. Measurements. So far I appreciate everybody who may be still tuned in to me right now. I know I'm a little long-winded tonight. You know what I'm saying? Also, definitely call me up if you'd like to do it, for me to do a consultant, because that way, I can keep these things going. I do 15 minutes, I do 30 minutes, and I do an hour or so per consultation. So y'all can call me up and book me, go through my website, though, and fill out the little form or whatever. And let's see if we can get you, contacted with me. And let's just talk about these things. What could be possibly going on with you? You know what I mean? Could be a variety of things. And like we're saying right now, we, coming out with a lecture coming up probably next month or so, dealing with the 4 bodies and the 5 elements to health, better health. So that's coming. So y'all, stay tuned. Like I said, have me subscribe. You know what I'm saying? IG, follow me, So let's go into this, fam. Today we talking about, like I said, the electromagnetic waves, or what we call the nanometers, of how also the colors to each of the electromagnetic spectrum waves. Okay, and we deal with the radio waves. Okay, which is around, which is the red. Okay, on the spectrum line, color spectrum. We talking about the yellow. Remember the 3 colors that make up the primary colors, which was red, yellow, and blue. See that with the photo lady, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the color wheel, right? And how we can mix these colors to make some of the colors that I'm talking about right now. Orange, purple, greens, stuff of that nature, from 3 colors. Every color that you see, all these different colors that you're seeing around me and right now, or around you, coming from 3 colors: red, yellow, and blue. So let's move forward, because I don't want to hold your head ears up hostage too long, fam. So we got radio waves, which is, like I said, is red, which is around 700 nanometers, you know, somewhere roughly around in the spectrum range. Okay, then you have the microwave range, which is going to give you the orange color. Okay, we're going into the color orange, which is around 600 nanometers. Then we got infrared. Remember I said we you know, what you're looking at right now is like a infrared image in a sense. Okay, which is yellow, which is about 550 nanometers of light. Okay, then we have the visible light, which is pretty much green. And a lot of people say green is life and stuff like that, you know. Trees are green, the grass is green, your vegetables are green, you know. You want them the darker the greener, better the juice, so to speak. Okay. Even your berries, darker the berries, sweeter the juice, but in this case, healthier the juice, more antioxidants, more contributing factors to your body to rejuvenate. Okay, let's move forward, fam. We got ultraviolet. We got ultraviolet rays, which is like a light blue, which is around 475 nanometers. So far we got radio waves, which is red, which is around 700 nanometers, to about microwaves, which is orange, which is 600 nanometers. We got infrared, which is yellow, which is around 550 nanometers. You got pretty much visible light, okay, which is which is green. Then you got ultraviolet, which is a light blue. Then you got X-rays, which is like a royal blue, we'll say, which is around 450 nanometers. And then you go into the greens. The gamma rays, which is going to that velvet of purple, okay, or real dark blue. You know what I'm saying? Which is going to be 400 nanometers of light. Okay, so you know what I'm saying. Let me see what else we got right here. We got the gamma. Then we get into gamma. We talk about ionizing. It's got both. We got the positive and the negatives of the ionized, because ions are catalysts. Okay, gives off the waves. So we say makes it moves, makes it, you know, connecting and bond and move, you know, carry through the body, and part of that is carry through our body through the bloodstreams. Remember that plasma, you know, red and white blood cells and so forth and so on. So let's move forward. We also got our lymphatic system as well, or the lymphatic fluids, but that's another subject. Right now we got the positive ions would be more of the calcium, right? And that's done with the sodium, your potassium, your magnesium, and also calcium. Again, that's sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium, or your calciums. And then you got your negative ions, okay, which is your negative ions, and that's then your chlorides, sulfites. Now, you know, eating a lot of meats, especially cows and pigs and so forth, and deers and whatever else that's in that bloody red form, okay, you're dealing with that. You got certain sulfites in it that is not good for the body. You got phosphites. That's mainly, if you read a lot of subjects, especially on processed foods, got a lot of additives in it. Okay, those got phosphites, sodas, definitely. All that can deteriorate bone, your teeth enamel, because outside of the bone you got phosphorus. Remember, we got going into, got also carbonites. Okay, and you got a lot of carbon, you know what I'm saying, excess carbon in us. nowadays. A lot of people still got the face and mouth covered and breathing back the carbon dioxide that we're supposed to be breathing out. But when we receive the oxygen that we need to go in and to help the heart pump or give it its pumping action to help flow and the oxygen, collect to our iron and these different things I was just telling y'all about to make that metabolic processes go on in our body, right? So to where, the overexposure of electromagnetic frequencies can affect these things. Because it's supposed to be a balance of the ions, or the negatives and the positives, not a overabundance through, like I said, through our food contents, through what we drink, these artificial drinks and carbon drinks and stuff of that nature. Like I was saying another video about us drinking them keep your uppers drinks that you can get from your local store, neighborhood store, 5-minute boosters. Well, that's when we're doing caffeine, stuff of that nature. So that's all I'm going to brief on today. I hope this has been informative in some way, and I hope that you subscribe, as well as if you're on IG, take and follow me. And we're going to have more subject matters on the health is our wealth at the end of the day. But on EMF, on energy medicine, and what is that? Energy medicine practitioner is who I am, Doctah Copeland. And I hope to hear from y'all. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be through your likes, your comments. Also, maybe pick up the phone to consultation, or come to a group or a seminar or some type of lecture. It doesn't matter. We can get this thing going, and I don't mind sharing more information about EMF, PEMF frequencies, also about our 4 bodies. It's coming real soon, and what that's really all about, and how do we keep ourselves strong during these times when it's man versus machines. Okay, you know what I mean? And not only machines, our environment, whether it be the soil, the water, you know what I mean, the air right now, where they saying things are blowing up and carrying on. People flying balloons, they popping, and something coming out of that, and you don't know what kind of specimens was that was, shattered in the air, It would look fine, like, some type of powder to me, gas, because we're ether gas. And, this thing, this bubble right here is an ether gas. So like I'm saying, this when we go into the auras and stuff of that nature, our body feels. They can do detections. So we got to, protect ourselves and be in tune with ourselves, for we'll know when these dangers, or matter of fact, when you may be conversating with the machine versus man. But if you're not fully in tune, it'd probably be easy to trick you as that being a human to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you artificial yourself. You got artificial intelligence. Probably don't read no books. Probably don't have no books. You're always in your tablet, your tab, and that radiation hitting you. That light, what they call the blue light spectrums, and gamma rays, and microwaves, and different rays, radio wave frequencies, signals, all hitting us, fam. That's if you in that world like that. And so, if you don't want cancer, high blood pressure, headaches, body aches, oh man, the list goes on and on and on. Different what they call a diseased situation. Then, there are natural ways if you don't want to go through surgeries, if you don't want to go through, having 30 different medications and stuff of that nature, due to the side effects or the different effects already gave you. You know, there are natural ways, but that's going to come to a submission to the Most High. You know, there's more than just praying. You got to take and, you know, do your works too. You know, and so that sometimes could be that discipline could be the hardest part. So as a naturopathic health consultant, I'm here to assist those who may need that assistance. You know, and I don't mind sharing. You know, like I said before, I start going into more of the, you know, herbs. Or I'm not herbologist, but far I stay in my lane. Okay, supplements that you may can start taking, or foods you may can start eating versus what you're maybe already eating. Habits, like I said, make you check your home, whatever, see what you got around you, you know, whether it be, you know, energies of all types. You know, I don't mind coming and assisting you in your situation, but you have to, you know, book that to happen, right? So just go to my website and let's make that happen. I appreciate everybody for taking this long and listening to me today about electromagnetic spectrum waves, or the nanometers, and the colors of it. Okay, because all that is going to go into, even down to when we start going into nature, looking at food. You know, certain colors have a certain frequency, what they call estrogens. Okay, so we'll get into that in the near future. So if you want to know more, book me, or like I said, continue to follow me. And as the days and months go on, we're definitely. And then, you know what? I want to do more of these, but you know what I'm saying, I got to do 3, 4 of them a week or something like that. Oof, it's a lot of time, energy. At the same time, though, you know what I'm saying, I would need that support. And, you know what I'm saying, through that support, then I would, you know, possibly could be able to survive and be able to do this probably all day. You know what I mean? You know, but really I'm here to try to help our people, peoples all around the world who willing to accept the information that I may share with you. Okay? Until the next time, y'all be blessed. Stay strong. Hang on during these rough times, and watch what type of energies you allow yourself to be around. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all on the same frequency. You know what I mean? Vibration. You know what I mean? And you know, if one is on the healing tip and another one ain't. You know, I had a situation like that some years back. Now, let me give y'all one of these right quick before I leave out. You know, one of the last beautiful queen I was with, you know what I mean? That, you know, she was cleansing, doing her yoga, you know what I mean? And going on a program to do a detox. It's around the springtime, and here I am. You know, I pretty much was called relapse, you know what I mean? Started doing some bad habits, you know, and I shamed myself away from her, you know what I mean? Because I knew that my energies was now in a lower state while she was vibrating in a higher state. You know what I mean? Instead of me, you know, letting her know, you know what I mean? I shied away, kind of stayed. She might have thought I was fooling with another woman. Probably all types of stuff maybe going through, you know, female's mind, you know, or male's mind at this point, you know. But, you know, it may have been an emotional moment. I do not know. But at the end of the day, you know, I came forth and really told them what was, you know, why I was shying away, what was I doing on my end, and how I was proud of them on their end. You know what I mean? They, in a sense, came stronger than me on it. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. It's about sharing this information like right now, and y'all able to pull things from this. Do your own research as well, most importantly. I'm giving y'all, you know what I'm saying, only some little seeds to throw out there, you know what I mean? I ain't really, you know, coming with no real fire right now, you know? But I just want y'all to know that, you know, we can stay focused out here. We can take and make sure you get outside, get some fresh air out here, and make sure that, you know, you love yourself and you're proud of who you are, as yourself. And always, you know what I'm saying, listen to the wisdom of the elders as well as the youth. Depends on where your age group at. You know what I mean? But you got to listen to them. That's what's wrong. You don't have no one listening to them for real, for real. They might have some information, as long as they get it all from these radio waves. Y'all follow me? I'm out. One love.